The story of Rapunzel happened a long time ago. A husband and wife lived far away. They had no children, and one day the wife got pregnant, and the husband rejoiced greatly at the news of her pregnancy, stopped her from doing anything that would tire her, and directed her to complete rest until she had children. The man and his wife lived near a forest where an evil witch lived. This witch was planting as many trees and plants as her soul desires, and surrounded her garden with a high fence so that no one could reach her, so that people would not see what was inside the garden. And one day the wife sat on the porch of the house, and looked at the garden of the evil witch, and she saw the best varieties of fruits in it, and wished that she tasted them, and she did not resist looking and meditating on it. And when her husband returned home, she asked him to bring her some of the fruits of the garden of the evil witch. The husband waited until nightfall to go to the garden of the evil witch and pick the fruits for his wife, because he knows very well that the evil witch will not allow him to take the fruit no matter what, and sneaked into the garden as soon as he made sure the lights were turned off and the witch was asleep, climbed the high garden wall, picked some fruits and then returned to his wife in a hurry, washed the few fruits he picked, and returned to his wife to present them to her. So the wife rejoiced a lot, ate the fruits with a high appetite, thanked her husband a lot, and the next day the wife asked her husband to bring her more fruits. And so her husband waited for the witch's sleep again, and went to take the fruits. Video you may like, but this time the evil witch caught him and said to him, "To whom are you stealing this fruit?" He said to her in horror, "To my pregnant wife, because she craves the fruits that are in your garden, and I took only a little of them, so please forgive me and let me go." And the evil witch laughed and said to him, "Well, take whatever fruits you want, but as soon as your wife gives birth, I will take the child from her and raise it myself." The husband agreed to the request of the evil witch, thinking that she was not talking seriously, and in order to escape her punishment, he did not think that the witch was waiting for the birth of the child with great enthusiasm, and after a while the wife gave birth to a very beautiful baby, and the couple rejoiced at her and named her Rapunzel, and Rapunzel was the most beautiful of all the children. And suddenly, the evil witch appeared and took Rapunzel from her parents and said to them, "I will take Rapunzel as agreed." The couple was sad and became very ill until their souls came out of the intensity of grief and illness. The witch put Rapunzel in a very high tower, and she did not make any door or stairs for this tower, and there was only a small window in it from which only air and sunlight entered. And the days passed until Rapunzel became a beautiful girl with very long hair, because the evil witch never cut her hair, and whenever she wanted to climb to the tower, she called Rapunzel to hang her hair down and use it to climb to the tower. Rapunzel thought that the witch was her mother, and the days passed and Rapunzel felt sad because she lived alone in the high tower, and she always sang sad songs. And one day a handsome prince who was passing by the tower heard her singing, and he called out to her, and there was no Rapunzel until she showed her hair to the prince and he climbed up to her, and Rapunzel was very happy to see him. Suddenly the witch came to the tower and saw the prince at Rapunzel. She cut her hair and expelled the prince after she hit him and broke his hand, and the prince was able to escape from the hand of the evil witch with difficulty, until he reached his palace and brought his soldiers and a high ladder to get Rapunzel out of the tower, and they were able to get her out with difficulty after she was sad and singing her sad songs. The prince approached her and told Rapunzel that the evil witch was not her mother, and her parents died grieving for her loss, and after a long conversation between them, the prince took Rapunzel with him to the palace and married her, and they lived together happily and blissfully. The lesson learned from this story is that everything in life has a price, and the penalty for stealing Rapunzel's father from the garden was the loss of his daughter. As it appeared in the story, how good won in the end, but it did not win quickly, so a person should not lose hope no matter what happens.